Our today's topic is SAP TM in a nutshell. Okay. So I would target that I would be covering today so that you would be going out from this session by having a little bit of knowledge कि भैया TM है क्या? What happens in the TM, whether you can build your career in TM, whether you are the right guy, and if you need to build your career in SAP TM, what kind of things you require to do. That is the things I will try to cover it today. But before I jump into the topic, as per the rituals, I would like to welcome our new members to the community. So these sessions we are doing for quite some time. We shifted the time from Monday, Thursday, and now doing it over the Sunday evenings. Now we have shifted strategically to some session on Saturday evening and Sunday evenings by considering the World Cup matches. So there are the World Cup matches happening, and tomorrow is the match between India versus New Zealand. So we have shifted our session so that we have a good amount of participants. People don't miss these sessions because of the World Cup matches. That's why we are doing it today, but we are doing these sessions almost for a year. We have done the sessions on the different topics as requested by you. Again, I would be also taking your requests in today's session also that what you want to do it. But we have covered a large amount of topics. We have covered 2021 changes. We have covered 2022 changes in S4HANA. What is Rise with SAP? What is the AI? How the AI would be impacting? Whatever the topics you have asked me, what I can do it within my capabilities, I have done it. What need to be done by the outside consultants, we have also bring them, onboarded them, and they have spoke about the topic, whether it's a Coupa, whether it's FSCM modules, different topics we have talked about, right? So we would be continuing doing these things in the upcoming years also. So from starting, we have put it these sessions free for the community where you can join as a free. And if you are enrolled with us, if you have joined this community, you would be getting our weekly newsletter by which you would be seeing that what are the different things we are giving. That weekly newsletter is a weekly bite, which you can take the different blogs which we have posted, different videos we have posted as a free on the YouTube. What are the upcoming sessions are there in the week? All the information is there in our newsletter, which we release on the weekly basis. So you'll be getting one email from us. And then if you are linked with us through the LinkedIn or through the Telegram, we have different channels. We pass the information when we are doing these sessions. We'll be having a lot of interaction through the Zoom chat. I would be asking questions to you so that the sessions are interactive. Okay, you are also not defocusing. I would be asking few questions from you, which you need to respond over the chat. That would be our communication. In between, if you have a question, in the Zoom, there is a functionality of question and answer. If you have any question which I am explaining, or if you have any question for me, put it into the question and answer window, right? So I have an eye on the question and answer also. I would be taking a break in 10 to 15 minutes during the session. I would be reading your question and answering them. Okay, so your questions onto the question and answers in the Zoom, and whatever the question I am asking to you, answers on the Zoom chat. That's what we will be using it, right? So at the first part, I will be covering the topic. That would be from 45 minutes. Depends on the topic, can go up to 90 minutes, but I try to complete my topic between 45 to 60 minutes. Then we'll be jumping into the second segment. Second segment will be jumping into the complete question and answers on the topic. If anybody wants to speak, if you have a bigger question on the topic and you want to speak, you can raise your hand. In the second half, I will give you the unmute access so that you can speak and ask your question. That is the second segment of our webinar. In the third segment, we'll be jumping into the career counselings. I do a lot of one-to-one career counseling. Now the number has reached 2,700 plus career counseling I have done, one-to-one career counseling. My calendar is available, which you can go and book one-to-one career counseling sessions. Now we have changed a little bit. It's not one-to-one, it's 1 to 3 people booking. We are taking it, right? Those are the free career counseling sessions. But what happens when we give that link and people see the calendar and they said, oh, boss, I'm getting a time which is the next month, but I need something today. I need something in a week, right? So I also ask people to join this step-up circle. And the third segment would be the career counseling session. If you want to immediately get your question answered related to career, you can ask me at the end of the session. So in between, if I get any career related question, I would be parking them to ask in the last. Okay. My team would be sharing the different links, the YouTube link, our Telegram link, and the link to the my one-to-one career counseling sessions also. If you want to book it, that links would be shared. All the links are free to join. We are working a lot to do for the community, almost sharing a video every day on the YouTube, creating some content over the LinkedIn and sharing over there. And a couple of weeks ago, we have launched free learning tool. That's a micro learning of SAP by Sastrageek Solutions. Micro learning by Sastrageek Solution, a free product we have launched on our LMS, which you can all access, and you can go through different small videos we are putting, so that if any topic you want a quick access, you can do it. Right now, we are only into the 10 or 15 videos in that micro learning. We want to go up to 100 plus videos by the end of this year. And we want to take it to inventory of somewhere around 400 and 500 free videos, micro videos for you with our micro learning on the Teachable. Okay, that micro learning link also the team would be sharing. If you are not enrolled for the micro learning, get enrolled. It's a free product. We would be quickly jumping onto our today's topic, for which all of us we have came here. That is SAP TM in a nutshell. So today, when you're getting out from this session, I want you to at least understand कि भैया कोई भी people who come to you and ask you कि TM क्या है, you should be able to answer it. What is the purpose of the TM, transport management? You should be able to answer it. Can you build a career in TM? Would you be able to build your career in TM? Those kind of questions you should be able to answer after today's session. That's what we want to get it done. Okay, so let's start. Let's quickly start with our topic. A lot of links has been given by my team. You can click on the links and join the different channels. All of them are free. Okay. Let's go ahead. I have a big mind map. So I use this big mind map to make sure that when we are starting a new batch of TM, I think which would be in the month of November, I teach from the mind maps. Okay. What I would be doing, I would be covering the topic like that way, whether you belong from technical background, whether you belong from any module, you would be ending up today going from this session with some learning. So I would always start from the basic and the scratch. And when I start from the basic and scratch, first I will try to make you understand why the TM is required, what is the business requirement behind it, what is the business case behind it, what is the business scenario behind it. In all of our training in Sastrageek solution, what we prefer you to learn is first the business, right? If you understand the business requirement, if you understand the business scenario, if you understand the business case, then you would be able to understand why IT need to bring it up, to bring some solutions so that it can help the business scenarios. So understanding of the business scenarios is very important. Whether you are into the technical module or you are into the functional modules, make sure you understand the business and the business scenario. So the first question comes, why do we require a transport planning? So transportation, okay, before I go to that question, SAP TM is module in SAP. For the people who mention NI ki sir mujhe to koi bhi idea nahi hai. SAP TM is a module in SAP which is considered a very high level module. It's not a base level. It's one level called, it's called the advanced level module, okay, which provide you to functionality so that you can manage your transportation and you can do some planning of the transportation, right? Now, the first question comes, why do we require a transportation planning? Why do we need a IT tool to do the transportation planning? We will try to get that answer first. Okay, why do we need an IT tool to get the transportation planning? So to answer that, I would be going into my OneNote document and would be explaining the process in the OneNote. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Now, why do we need a transportation? Why do we need a transportation planning, right? So you would be having a scenario. I'm taking a scenario where basically I have my manufacturing company. This is my plant. From this plant, I am doing my manufacturing. And from this plant, I distribute my products to the different distribution centers. Okay, a plant where I do the manufacturing. Let's say I'm manufacturing the juice bottles. I'm manufacturing the juice bottles here, and from here I do the send my to the distribution which is in Nasik, to one distribution center which is in Bangalore, to one distribution center which is in Chennai. So different distribution center I have. I manufacture it here. I send it to this distribution center, and from these distribution centers, it is sent to the different customer. These are my end customer. It can be retailers, it can be wholesalers, it can be the big shopping marts. I distribute them, right? So what we need to understand here, from the manufacturing plant, if the product need to go to the distribution center, it would be going, अरे इतना बड़ा क्यों आ रहा भाई, थोड़ा छोटा हो जा. It would be going with some transportation vehicle, right? It would be going in some truck. You would be using some transportation vehicle and you would be dispatching it to there. From the distribution center also, when you are dispatching it, it would be going in some trucks or whatever the vehicle you would be using it, you would be dispatching your products with the vehicle. Now, what in this module, what we are talking about how we would be managing these part, how this product will move from this point to this point, or from this point to individual customer. When I say that, first thing that what kind of vehicle I need to use. Okay, what kind of vehicle I need to use. That vehicle which I would be using, whether it should be different kind of vehicle, whether it should be a small wagon car, whether it should be a 12 feet vehicle, whether it should be a 24 feet vehicle, okay, whether it should be a refrigerator vehicle, what kind of vehicle should be, what kind of capacity should be, who would be providing that vehicle to me, who would be my freight provider, okay, who would be my freight provider, who would be providing that vehicle to me, who would be making sure that the product has been distributed to the customer, how much I would be paying to him, how much I would be paying to him. Now, these all things you need to do the planning of it, right? Now, as a manufacturing company, my purpose is to produce the product and to sell the product. My work is to get the orders from the customer, produce it and give it to the customer. Now, for giving it to the customer, I'm manufacturing in, let's say, the 4 different manufacturing units over the India, and I am having a 26 different distribution centers over the India. And from there, it goes to my 2000 plus customers, right? Now, to deliver that into the different regions, I would be requiring a different kind of transportations, right? And that product, if I am also selling it outside the country, where in between sea is there, and then let's say I'm also selling it to USA. So I'm also exporting it, right? Then I would require a truck here. Then I will require a ship here. Then a truck again here. So I need to plan. I cannot, my duty is to manufacture and to sell. Now I cannot say that, okay, I need to distribute to 2000 different customers who are into the 116 different regions. So I would be buying a different kind of trucks for the requirement, and I would be setting up my own transportation. Okay, I would be everywhere. I would be having my own trucks. I would be buying my trucks. Then what happens? Then you are not the manufacturing. You are not the company who are doing the manufacturing and selling of the juices. You become a company who manage the transports, right? And they are the efficient company whose role is to manage the transport. They are the companies like DHL. There are so many companies. I will give you the example. Who their role is to manage the logistics. They are expert in it. They have full network into the different regions, and every region there would be a different network of the freight providers. Freight providers are your vendors who provide the freights, who would be having a truck, who would be providing a truck so that you would be able to transfer from one place to another place. So generally what happened, these companies would be taking services from the vendors. Okay, they might be having their own trucks, but the own trucks has been taken specially for the scenarios where the repeated movements are there. For this movement, there might be company can say that, okay, every day, 4 times a truck need to go from plant to distribution center. So I have my some own trucks in this lane. The fixed load is there. I can manage my own trucks by buying my own trucks. But the other areas where I need to distribute in Bengal, I need to distribute in Kerala, I cannot manage all the transportations in different places. So I take the services from outside. When I take the services from outside, who would be providing the service to me? At what cost he will provide the service to me? What should I ask him that whether I need a 12 feet trucks or I need a 24 feet truck? I need a refrigerator container. I need a normal truck, right? What should be my requirement? So for that, all of the things you need to do the planning so that you can reach to the important word I am saying, you can reach to a optimized transport cost. And this transportation is becoming key, especially for the products like consumer goods, foods manufacturing. The transportation is key. Can you tell me that if you are buying a product of, let's say, $100, what is the material cost in it? What would be the material cost in it? And what can be a distribution cost in it? $100 material, if you are buying it in general, think about the consumer goods, right? $100 material, if you're buying, answers on the chat window. How much would be the material cost and how much would be the distribution cost? 30, 60, 40, 80, whatever you think, you give it to me. Over the chat. 60 is distribution, 80, 20, 80 is material cost, 20 is distribution, 10% is packaging, 70 is material cost, 30 is Hema said 30, 70, 40, 60, 10, 100, Kalyan said 60, 40, 60, 70, 30, 80, 20, 60, 40, 70, 30. Okay. Now, when I was in 6th or 7th standard, that was told into the books, okay, into the books in the study, I think in 7th or 8th standard, when the economics was introduced, I was shocked and I went to my father, ki, ye book mein kya likha hua hai? The book said, it was a 7th or 8th standard economics book said, if 1 rupees is the material cost, okay, if 1 rupee is the material cost, the selling price to the buyer would be approx 10 rupees. Okay, when a products goes to the buyer, especially when we talk about the consumer goods, and that is the average. There are some products which happen 200 times to 300 times, right? So if the material cost is 1 rupees, the selling cost would be somewhere around 10 rupees. That is a general normal. The material cost would be 10% and 90% will go to the other expenses, other costs. 90% goes to the other costs. Distribution is one of the biggest cost. Distribution would be one of the biggest costs. It's not the only cost, but distribution is one of the biggest costs. To make sure that your products reach to the end customer, okay, and it would not be a 1 to 10, it would be much more higher, much more higher. If you go to the retail, you will be shocked. You would be shocked if you go to the retail. I have seen some companies selling the products in 2400% margins. Pharma products, you will be shocked if you will see what is the material cost compared to the cost of the medicine you pay. A 10 paisa goli, which is the manufacturing cost, is 10 paisa, is sold in 20 to 25 rupees to the end user and customer. So that 10 to 1 to 10 ratio is average acceptable ratio. So your material cost would be 10%, and the price on which the buyer is buying would be the 100. That is very nominal. Okay, many industries, many companies will go beyond that. The ratio can also be 1 to 99%. Okay, so you need to understand that distribution cost plays a lot of role when there is a lot of distribution is happening. And transportation is one of the costs which is playing a crucial factor in the distribution, right? So now when the companies wants to optimize, one side they want to optimize their manufacturing, other side they also wants to optimize their distribution chains. Under the distribution chain, a thing comes which is a transportation. They also wants to optimize the transportation also. Okay. One of the first implementation, which I have not done the first implementation with TM, my transportation journey started with OTM, Oracle Transport Management. And then later on, we moved to the TM. In OTM, that is a scenario I'm telling you to the Turkey, we implemented OTM in the Turkey. And with OTM tool, what they try to understand and analyze with the optimization, the thing they came up with that they are using a smaller truck and then they should be using a bigger truck. Okay. That's what the optimized transportation, they got it from these transport optimization tools. And with that, they were able to reduce their transportation cost by 17 to 20%. Their transportation cost, they were able to reduce by 17 to 20%. Okay, that's what the companies are looking for, to make sure to reduce the transport. And if you will not control it, believe me, in many cases, your transportation cost, if you will calculate, is more than the material cost. In many cases, especially in the beverage industry, when you drink a bottle of Coke, if you will calculate it within the transportation, including the damages which happens, the material cost is very less, very, very less, right? Many cases, if you will calculate, the transportation cost is more than the material cost. Okay, to make sure that it moves from the factory to the distribution center to the wholesaler to the retailer, and then to you, your transportation cost would be more, right? Now, what are the different areas? Now, in this situation, can you tell me that what are the different areas where we can put a tool which can help to reduce the transportation cost or to optimize our transportations? What are the areas? Quickly, answers on the chat window. Right now, people are raising hand, but hand raising functionality into the second segment. Right now, you need to answer onto the chat window. In second segment, I will give a chance to unmute yourself. So my question, I will repeat my question. So what are the areas are there where there would be a chances that you would be able to reduce the transports? Okay, let's say few ideas I have given, that we can use a bigger truck. We can make sure that every time we do the delivery, it's a full truckload goes. Okay. Okay. Now I'm getting the answers. Very good. Thank you. You are very interactive participants. I love giving sessions to you, even though it's free. Okay. How many months? Okay. I will leave that questions. By loading, by doing some forecasting, optimizing the route. भैया route optimize करने से भी there can be benefits. Very good, Vinod. Contract sum with the hauliers, vehicle length. Yes, vehicle length, contract items, terms, weight and volume. By optimizing weight and volume, transportation size, tendering of freight. Tendering of freight, Samir said, means we need to tender. There are so many freight providers available. One guy is charging us 12 kilometers, 12 rupees per kilometer. There can be another guy who is giving us the charges at 9 rupees per kilometer, right? So if we tender, if we have a functionality, if we can reach out to the different freight providers, we can get the better price. We can reduce our cost with that. Routes is one of them. Transit time, if we can reduce the transit time, route optimization, freight, full truckload. Make sure that the trucks are not going from one place to another place with the empty space. We are using a full capacity of the truck. Because sometime what will happen when you have called the truck, if you are sending a half truck or if you are sending a full truck, the guy would charge same to you. So if you are sending a half truck, your transportation cost per material is doubled, right? Path, route optimization, choosing a good carrier is very good. Very good answers. I love your answers. Thank you for answering it. I will just summarize all the answers. You have all the knowledge, right? I'll just need to modify your statements and bring it into summarize mode. Now, what can happen? Now, this customer is in, let's say this customer is in Mysore. And I have this customer, and this customer is in Bangalore. Right? This customer is in Bangalore. And I have this distribution center in Hosur. Right? Now, what should I do? Shall I send a truck to the Mysore customer to deliver it to Mysore and get it back to me? Or I can say that I can, because Mysore and Bangalore are on the same route, I can send it this truck from Hosur, and it can deliver it to the Mysore. Then it can go to the Bangalore, deliver it to the Bangalore, and then it can come back. So it can take this route, then it can come back. By doing this, might be if I'm only sending it to Mysore, I am able to use the 40% of the truck, or I need to send the 2 mini trucks, 1 mini truck to Bangalore, 1 mini truck to Mysore. But if I do the calculation and if I do the optimization and I say that I use a bigger truck, which can have a, let's say 95% of full truck load, it can achieve it. It can go to the Mysore, it can go to the Bangalore, and then it can come back to the Hosur. Then it would be the optimization, right? Then I can calculate, rather than using a 2 small van backs, bigger truck with this route, optimized route can give me the more savings, right? The another thing also I can do it. The another thing also I can try to do it. Now, when this truck would be coming back from this lane, from Bangalore to Hosur back, okay? Or let me take another example here. This is in Mumbai. Okay, and my distribution center is in Mumbai, and my manufacturing is also in Mumbai. I am sending a truck to Pune to my customer. Maybe the couple of customer who belongs to Pune, I'm sending my truck. Then if I can identify, ki boss, I also have a vendor in Pune who supplies a material to the manufacturing plant. I can also try to identify that I am sending my truck to this Pune customers, and after doing the delivery, when it need to come back, it would be going to the vendor. Okay, from vendor, it would be picking the material, and then it would be bringing to my manufacturing plant. Otherwise, what will happen? I need to bring my truck empty from my customer back to my distribution center or back to my manufacturing plant. I need to bring the empty truck. An empty truck, sometime you need to charge. So whenever the transportations are charging you, they charge you for the both ways. So there would be some transporters who would be charging you. That's the one way where basically the full load is going. I would charge you 100%. While returning back, if it is empty coming, I would be charging 50%, or I would be charging 70% for the second lane, for the empty lane, right? So rather than paying my transporter for an empty truck to come back from this customers, I can send it to a vendor. If I have a vendor in Pune who supply to the manufacturing plant, it can pick my vendor's materials, raw materials, and it can came back and send it to the plant. So there also, by combining outbound with the inbound transportation, I'm trying to optimize my transportation. I'm trying to reduce my transportation cost, right? So there would be so many things which can be done, which would be requiring it to reduce the transportation, right? Let's try to list them down. First thing, to make sure full truckload, or making sure the full capacity of vehicles we are using. That way you would be able to reduce your transportation. Second thing, economic, or I would say right vehicle with the right size. If you don't have a full truck load for the 24 feet, you can check whether you can call a smaller truck, which would be charging you less, and that truck you are sending it to dispatch here, right? Right vehicle with the right size. If you can find it out, then also you would be able to reduce your transportation cost, right? Third is optimizing route. By optimizing the route, also you would be able to determine the right cost. Okay, by optimizing the route, also you would be able to determine the right cost, or you would be able to reduce the cost. Fourth would be by identifying right freight provider. So there would be some terminology which would be difficult for you. I start from the very basic thing generally. So when I will be going in my first session, which would be in the, I think 4th of November, I think we are starting. I'm not sure with the date. Aman will let you know. I would be starting with the terminology. So I'm talking about the freight provider, right? Then then route, and then the full truckload, less than truckload. So there's a lot of transportation related terminology, which sometimes if you don't come from the background of the transportation, you struggle to understand, right? So I would be starting with those terminology so that first you understand the business and the terminology used in business, then you jump into learn कि भैया IT में क्या होता है. Right now, we are not learning the IT. We are just trying to understand why an IT tool is required. क्या करेगा IT tool? First, understand the business and the problems in the business. Then try to understand why an IT tool is required, what function feature that IT tool has, and which problem IT tool would be able to solve it. Right? If you can choose a right freight provider from the list of the freight providers which you are having, the vendors who provide you that services, if you can choose a right freight provider, if you can consolidate your shipments, if shipments can be consolidated to use the economical vehicle, that can be the another thing which can help you to reduce your transportation cost. Combining inbound and outbound transportations. Okay, combining your inbound transportation with the outbound transportations. If you can do that, with that also you can do it. The one another way is to reduce your transportation costs is reduce FT to manage transports. Reduce FT to manage the transport. What does this mean? That is to reduce full-time employees to manage the transports. So this is what we have done. We have done a very big transportation management project where basically multiple countries was involved, and within India itself, we find that on an average 2 to 3 people in every factory and in every distribution center were sitting who are handling, making sure, calling कि भैया truck आ रहा है time पे, कौन सा truck आ रहा है, calculate those all things they were managing it, and 2 to 3 FTs was there in every plant and every distribution center, and the total count of the plant plus distribution center was nearly 100. So total full-time employees was somewhere around 250 people sitting and managing the transportation. And because there is no good transportation tool, they don't have an end-to-end visibility. Everybody was working in their own domain to calculate and to identify the things. So the visibility was not there, and 250 employees, full-time employees, were working for the transportation plan. When we put it the transportation tool, the visibility came in. We also set it up a transportation control tower, because when the visibility is there and when you are planning the transportation from a tool, okay, you have an end-to-end visibility of it. So we set it up a control tower in the Bangalore. We set it up few people From 250 FTs, we reduced it to 100 FTs, only one guy on each plant and distribution center. And we put it additional 20 FTs centralized in our control tower, who do the optimization and managing by using the transportation tool at the corporate office. So from 250 FTs, we were able to reduce the FTs to 50% by putting this. This was the biggest business case to implement transportation, to reduce the FTs who is manually doing this transportation calculation and planning, and still not be able to reach to that much of reduction into the transportation cost, because they don't have an end-to-end visibility. For one plant, one distribution center, they have a visibility to their customer or to what deliveries they want to do it. End-to-end visibility, they don't have it. So that can be another terms which we are basically would be able to reduce the transportation cost. There would be many more things which will be coming into the picture, right? When we'll be going and jumping ahead into this tool, you would be able to understand there are so many different ways by the transportation can be calculated, or the it can have a reduced cost. Now here, one thing more you need to understand, this is a very simple scenario I put it. Now think about you are having around 40 distribution center and 20 different manufacturing plant, and I'm talking about one country. And if you go to the Europe, where a lot of transportation happen from one country to another countries, every country have a distribution center, manufacturing unit, how complex the network would be, right? And how many different opportunities are sitting, which is hiding below the sea because we cannot see them, right? Because the visibility is not there. Even this tool, if it can bring a visibility that where are the chances to reduce the cost, that would be a big benefit. And when the business is big, when there are so many transports, so many trucks are moving from here to there, the manual optimization is not that efficient or is not that feasible. You need to have some strong IT tools which has a complex algorithms, okay, or deep calculation and algorithms by which they would be able to try to solve this problems with the algorithms and try to give you a better solution for transportation. And there are so many things, small things which will bring the benefit to the business. Sometimes it is not required, a complex algorithm is required. Sometimes you just bring the visibility and you give them the tool where they can see that, okay, which shipments you can combine it together, and you can create it a dashboard, a beautiful dashboard, and a list of the freight providers, and selecting a optimum freight provider. That also can bring a lot of benefit to the business. So basically, a tool for the transport management is required to make sure these complex situations can be handled in the business by a IT tool with the visibility. Okay, that's what we are looking for. That's why we need a tool for the transport management. With this explanation, you should be a little bit clear ki, bhaiya, what is transportation management and why do we require a transportation management? Now, what we would be talking about is SAP TM. SAP TM is a solution for SAP which provide you these functionality by which in your business, in your supply chain, you would be able to manage, handle, and plan your transportation in a better way. Okay. So far, any question on the topic? So far, any question on the first topic where I have explained you ki bhaiya, why a TM is required? Okay, I have some generic question which I will answer it later on onto the question and answer window. I have few people who has raised the hand. Please make sure if you want to speak and ask some question, let your hand raised. At the end of the session, I will give you a chance so that you can unmute yourself and speak. I have a few questions on the chat. TM is SAP tool. Yes, we have SAP S/4HANA TM is a module. We call it as a module, SAP S/4HANA TM, which is a module. In S/4HANA, we have an embedded TM, which is within S/4HANA, we have a TM module, which you can use it to optimize your transportations. That was a question from Raju. Rakesh said that loading and unloading cost in the TM, whether we can also optimize the loading cost and the unloading cost, not directly with the TM, but if you have a EWM and EWM integration with the TM, then you would be able to pinpoint and would be able to reduce your loading and unloading cost. Okay, EWM would be a better tool to handle the loading and unloading. Rakesh. Neelu is asking, most of the functions are from the advanced TM. Most of the functions are from the advanced TM. What is the advance of the basic TM? Okay, the question is a little confusing, but I can understand. There is a basic TM and there is advanced TM. In my session number 1, when I jump into the detailed TM training, I take you to the architecture of the TM. Okay. So here I would be having a SAP TM architecture, and in the TM architecture, now this is the deployment options. I think we've seen this one. So we have a TM as a standalone, we have embedded TM, and embedded TM also would be having a SAP S/4HANA Classic TM and Advanced TM. So there we would be talking about the difference between Advanced TM and the Classic TM. So we have a basic shipping. It's called basic shipping and professional shipping. Here I would be explaining you what is the difference between both and how a basic shipping or a professional shipping. Professional shipping, your advanced TM. Basic shipping is your classic TM. How it can be used. When we jump into this TM products, I would be explaining in detail. Gladstone is asking, bhaiya, is EWM essential for TM? Not at all. EWM is not essential for TM. It's a separate module. Separate product is there. EWM is not at all essential to learn TM. In today's topic, I would also jump on that vehicle to success and who should learn SAP TM. First, I will try to explain an end-to-end TM cycle. And then I will be jumping on to the who can learn the TM and what is your vehicle to success. EWM is not essential. For EWM, we need TM as well, right? No. EWM can be implemented separately. There are companies who implemented EWM, but they don't have a TM. There are companies who implemented TM, but they don't have EWM. There are companies who implemented EWM also and TM also, right? So the independent products are there. There are some integration points that are called advanced function and features. If you have only one point, the integration points you will not be implementing. Gayatri is asking, can you explain about standalone TM? So basically, Gayatri, when we go to the architecture, within the architecture, I would be going into the detail and I would be talking about the standalone TM. There would be a complete topic onto the architecture and I would be jumping into the standalone TM there. Okay, yeah, standalone TM, it is there. Whether in future it would be there or not, in future also it would be there. There is a specific function and feature for the standalone TM. Right now, people would be very confused if I jump into the standalone TM because right now people does not understand ki bhaiya basic TM kya hai, right? But in my session, which I'm starting from 4th of November, when I jump into the architecture, I would be covering what is basic shipping, advanced shipping, standalone TM, embedded TM, what things need to be used in which business scenarios, right? We'll be covering that. Vinod is asking, is LBN considered a part of the TM module? LBN is an advanced function which you need to take with the extra license in the TM, Logistics Business Network. Now, because Vinod is asking, so let me explain what is Logistics Business Network. So SAP has a product which can be integrated with SAP TM, which is called Logistics Business Network. You need to take a separate license for it. It is a sub-module of TM. With that, you have a visibility of all the logistics provider who are available, and you would be able to say that, bhaiya, I have a requirement. I need to send this 50 ton of my material from this place to this place. You tell me that who can provide the transportation to me and what cost. You can do the tendering from the Logistics Business Network, LBN. So it's a sub-module of the TM with extra license cost. Advantages of the basic TM, yes, we would be going through when we will go through our course. First, basic TM will come and then the advanced TM will come. So both will be covering it. and definitely the advantages of the basic TM we would be covering it. The most and the biggest advantage of the basic TM is if you want to bring shipment into the picture, I will be covering the SD module. SD module finish at the delivery. After delivery, you need a shipment, right? And against the shipment, you will be having your freight provider. That shipment can come into the picture with the basic shipment, basic TM process, or the basic classic TM, which has been given by S4HANA. And for that, additional license fee also is not required. Nia is asking, do we require SD or LETRA EWM background to start the TM module? Neha, parking your question, I would be answering your question. After the process, I would be covering who can learn TM. Then your question would be answered. What are the other tools than SAP use for TM? Does logistic company like UPS also use SAP TM? Yes. TM can be used by the manufacturing companies, and TM can also be used by the logistics company. Okay. So we have two basic scenarios in TM. We call it as a shipper scenario. Shipper is when a manufacturing company is implementing TM. And then we have a LSP scenario, logistics service provider. LSP scenario is when a logistics company who are not producing, but they are responsible to take the orders and ship the products. They are the shipment company, right? Then within SAP TM, we have a specific scenario called LSP scenario, which is used. 80% of the TM usage come from the shipper scenario. Okay, 80% of the TM usage comes from the shipper scenario. Okay, people have already some knowledge, so they are asking the advanced questions, and I would love to answer all of the questions, right? But I would proceed ahead. I will park. I have answered till, and people are putting more into the chat. Use question and answer window, my dear friends. I would be able to better answer. I have answered till Swati question, and I will give a pause here, and I will now jump back into our topic. Quickly explaining you that you understand that why the TM is required, right? Now, quickly explaining you that how the end-to-end cycle will happen in the TM. Okay, how the end-to-end cycle will happen in the TM. So it would be starting with SD. It can also start with MM. SD and MM, both way the cycle can start, but I will try to quickly explain you end-to-end process flow of the TM that will draw a picture in your mind ki what is TM, and from the SAP perspective, how the flow would be there in the TM. Okay, if you know that two things, you would be good enough that you have taken enough information from this session to understand some of the TM parts in nutshell. But before I proceed there, let me also cover one thing. What are the modules and the functionalities would be covered in TM? Okay, so TM would be having basically this process. SAP TM as a module would be having these processes. It would be having order management. The first thing you require, you need to take an order. An order need to come because a TM tool need to understand what I need to ship, when I need to ship, what is the quantity we are talking about, what is the volume we are talking about, and what is the weight we are talking about. That will become from the order management module, right? So order management functionalities are there, which will be bringing in the orders or the transportation requirements. Order management would be bringing in. That would be telling a TM tool what is required, when is required, what quantity, volume, and weight we need to do it, from where to where we need to ship it. That is the basic requirement a TM tool require, and that would be covered in the order management. What are the different things is covered in the order management? I will talk in little detail, but order management would be one of the sub-module in the TM. Then there would be a transportation planning. That is what we are looking for, right? A transportation planning would be there, which will be saying that, okay, based on this requirement, this would be my freight order. This would be my freight provider. Freight provider is a vendor who is supplying the truck to us at Okay, this would be my freight provider, and this would be my route. And these requirements, this three requirement, I'm combining it together to get the optimized shipment. That would be done by the transportation planning. So we have a transportation planning solution, which we also call it optimizer or optimization. Which is sometimes also called VSR, Vehicle Scheduling Optimization tool, right? So that where all the planning will come into the picture. Then will be happening the transportation execution. In transportation execution, you need to make sure that your truck execution also happen. In execution, multiple activities you need to happen, right? You need to, the truck will come in, that you will record. It goes to your docking station where the door is there, the truck will come, the backside will dock it, and then the loading will start. Then the loading will finish. Then the truck will start from the first place. Then it might be reaching to the intermediate location, and then to another location, then to another, and then coming back. This is the full execution, which is controlled by the events. So this modules make sure that once the planning is done, the execution also happens. All these activities also is executed. We would be doing some customization to make sure to put it that in our chain, what are the execution activities are required. Then we are having here freight costing and settlement. Freight costing and settlement. Now, when the execution has been done, then we need to calculate that what is the actual freight cost, how much of the charge we need to give it to the freight provider, and then we need to also settle and pay to the freight provider. One of the big and major functionality of the TM is to identify your freight provider, calculating it that as per the shipment, how much you need to pay to him, and getting the payment done. Now, identifying a provider, service provider, is a vendor to you, right? You have a vendor and you need to pay to him, and he is providing a services to you. That can be also done simply by the MM module also. You can create a service PO, service entry sheet, and you can pay to the vendor, right? You can also do it. But then the control is not there. What is required, from where to where required, how many different vendors are available, what cost they provided, what is the actual which is coming from the shipment, right? If you want to do all the calculations, and then if you want to have a controlled way to control that this services has been provided by the vendor, and against this, that much we are paying. If a controlled process is required, then TM is required. Otherwise, payment to the service provider, you can do it with the MM modules. But a controlled payment and the optimized payment with the optimized charge calculation, you can do with the TM module. So this would be a very big module, which we also call this as the charge management and the settlement. Then analytics and reportings are there. This need to be improved with the Fiori, and we are expecting we'll be having a better reporting in the future versions, which we are getting it for S4HANA. So these are the basic sub-modules which is delivered by SAP S4HANA TM. Some of the function features would be available in the basic shipping. The basic shipping and advanced shipping would be coming in my session number 2 when I'm jumping into the architecture. So some of the functions would be coming into the basic shipping, and some of the function would be coming into the advanced shipping, okay, or into the professional shipping. That will be discussed, but this is the total TM module, which you can consider basic shipping plus professional shipping together. These are the sub-modules. Now, I would be taking you one step ahead, and I would be giving you a knowledge ki bhaiya how end-to-end it get connected. End-to-end connections kya hai, from where it start and from where it end. Okay. So let's discuss that. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Now, as I told you, the transportation can be planned from the vendor, and transportation can also be planned to the customer. Okay. In both legs, you can have a transportation plant. Mostly the transportations are more planned into the outbound scenario, but in both cases it can be used, right? So first of all, today I'm taking an example to explain you if I need to do an end-to-end cycle in SAP TM with the transportation for an outbound scenario, how the things would be linked and how the documents would be started. So if we talk about the outbound scenario quickly, now I would be asking a lot of questions to you to have the integration done and answer them onto the chat. And the people who has their missing questions, which I have not answered it yet, please help me putting those questions into the question and answer window. I would be jumping very quick. The chat questions, which is not answered, please put it them into the question and answers parts, okay? So that we can track and answer them from there. Now, the first question from my side to you is the outbound process, from where it would be starting? From where the outbound process gets started? Sales order. Sonali said sales order, delivery. Okay. Yes. So the typical outbound process would be starting from the sales order. We would be having a sales order. A sales order would be created. That sales order would be telling us that was this material, this quantity, we need to sell it to a particular customer. So we want to dispatch from this plant, this distribution center, and to this customer, we want to know. So from the sales order, we would be knowing from where to where, what quantity, what material, what weight, what volume. Okay. Then after the sales order, we would be having a delivery document. Now, sales order can be a big document, right? In the sales order, they have 50 materials together. But we said that out of 50 materials, I have a 15 materials which I can ship it, and I can ship it on a particular date. Then a delivery document would be created. Delivery document would be having a more absolute and accurate information that these materials are available. In sales order might be there are some materials which I don't have available. I have an order, but मेरे पास material नहीं है. But delivery would be telling, okay, these materials are available, and these materials I can ship it together on a particular date, and this I want to ship it on this particular date. So delivery would be having a more precise information. So once I get the sales order and once I get the delivery, now this delivery is the information which we would be passing it to the TM. So this delivery, we would be passing it to the TM. And we'll discuss about some terminology called OTR, DTR, okay, and which is not required in S4HANA. If it is embedded S4HANA, this delivery would be given to the S4HANA, and S4HANA, I'm putting it at a dotted line because this would not be required in S4HANA. In standalone TM, OTR, DTR would be there. I would be having directly a freight units generated. Freight unit is the first document which will be generated in your SAP S4HANA embedded TM. That freight unit is the minimum unit. Okay, how the freight unit would be created? There is a big chapter. हम 2 घंटे spend करेंगे इस पे. 2 hours, and not me. We have an expert into the freight unit area. We have Adi, and we have one more TM consultant and trainer. They would be explaining in detail how this freight unit would be calculated. They are the freight unit building rules are there, master data configurations are there. Based on that, freight unit would be generated. But for now, consider that freight unit is the smallest unit which cannot be broken further when you're doing the shipment. So it's kind of you can consider it's kind of a pallet, and the pallet can go from one place to another place, but we cannot break the pallet, right? That is the minimum unit. So system would be creating a freight units, and to do the optimized freight units. So if you have 5 freight units, three you can send it into the one truck, 2 you can send it into the another truck. But one single freight unit, you cannot break it. It's the smallest unit in your transportation which need to be shipped together. That freight unit document would be created automatically in case of SAP S4HANA embedded TM, sales order, delivery, and a freight unit would be created. From once the freight unit is created, till this part is what we discussed, the order management part. This part is the order management part. From this part, we would be moving ahead, and I would be getting my another part. The planning part will start, where I would create a freight order for it. A freight order would be created. We can create a manual freight order. There can be automation of the freight order. So freight order would be a document that this freight units need to be dispatched together. And over the freight order, we would be doing a planning. Freight order can be created automatically. Freight order can also be created manually. From freight order, we would be doing and putting it head into the freight provider assignment. In between, you can have all the functionality of tendering. A tender can be raised, and based on the tender, you can select your freight provider and you can assign for this freight order. This should be my vendor. This should be my freight supplier who would be bringing a truck and dispatching a material from my place to the customer. When freight provider assignment has been done, the planning activities has been completed. Then we would be moving it to the execution. Okay, this still we are into this one. Then we'll be doing a freight execution. Freight execution. Now we come into the execution part. A freight execution will happen. And with the freight execution, we will be also doing activities like post goods issue. It can be integrated with the TM, post goods issue, the PGI, dispatch against the sales order, or it can also be done, into the SD module also, right? Now, this would be linked with your delivery document. This will be having back linkage with your SD module, and your SD module can continue from here. It can generate the invoice and the payment can also be received. I am explaining a simpler process. There would be a complication. There would be complicated process steps also. We are in the invoice generation also. We would be having a more linkage from the TM side where the actual freight cost we can bring it up. That we can also do it with the condition maintenance, right? But I am explaining you the simple process. Post goods issue has happened. You can invoice to the customer and get the payment done from the customer. Your SD cycle is getting completed here. Then we are jumping into another module, which we have discussed. The another module we have discussed is the freight settlement and the charge calculation, right? From freight execution, we would be creating a freight settlement document. In the freight settlement document, we'll be doing the charge calculation that based on the execution happen, what is the charge which has happened and which we need to pay to the vendor. So all the charge calculation would be happening here. Based on the charge calculation done, we would be doing a freight settlement document posting. This can be done automated with the batch jobs. And as soon as the freight settlement document posting will be triggering, then it would be linking with your MM module. What linkages will come with the MM module is, with this, a system would be creating a service PO and service entry sheet. Okay, against which you can book your, this is my freight provider. Invoice, which he has given, you can book with the Miro transaction. And then you can do the payment to him. So one side, you are getting a payment from the SD sales side. Another side, with this cycle, you are paying to the freight provider. This can be done with automations. This can be done with automations. This can also be done with automations. This can be done with automation or manual. Both ways it's available. This can be done with automation or manual. Okay. So this would be the end-to-end your freight, end-to-end your TM cycle, starting from the sales order and doing the integration with the SD module and doing the integration with the MM module. So when we'll jump into the detailed trainings, we would be jumping into executing this full cycle first in the system. After understanding the basics, we'll be jumping and executing this cycle first, and then we'll start learning the master data configurations. Okay, first end user level, I will make sure that with the standard data given, you execute this cycle. And then we'll be working on to make sure that with your own configuration, with your own master data, everything from with your own company code, your own freight provider, your own business partner, your own sales order, you would be executing the full cycle again. That will make you a consultant. Okay. Done. So this would be giving you very good clarity. Ki bhaiya, what is the end-to-end cycle is there? Okay, what is the end-to-end cycle is there? I'm getting a question. Kalyan is saying whether you would be providing a training or somebody else. I would be providing the training. The initial 7-8 sessions I would be doing. We have at least 5 people in the transport management training. Everybody is handling their individual areas. So I would be covering the initial part, master data, end-to-end cycle. Till that part I would be doing. When it goes to the configuration, we have Adi who would be handling the configurations. When it goes to the freight settlement, we have an expert into the charge calculation. Sandeep is expert into the charge calculation. He handled the charge calculation, ocean and LSP scenarios. Then we have Vardhan and one more trainer who would be teaching the optimization part. So Divya wants some more information. Just hold on, Divya, for a few more minutes. I would be showing the full teachable access that what you would be getting it with this training. Yes, we also provide the server. If you take the bundle, you will get the 3-month server access. Okay. Now, a lot of questions would be answered. A lot of questions which you are asking would be answered when I cover these two things. First is, who should learn TM and who can learn SAP TM? Okay. So SAP TM, if any fresher comes to me and he said, sir, SAP ka, I don't know anything. I'm starting my career and I want to do with SAP TM. We say, well, SAP TM is a very good module, very good monetary benefits, but it is little advanced module. Okay. It is not as easy as to understand. Unless you don't have any background, you will find it difficult to understand. So there should be some background to it, right? But if you are a SAP SD expert, MM expert, okay, you already have learned those modules, SD, MM, or any other modules, and you want to go ahead with the new modules, TM is a very good option. If you're interested into the transportation and you already have some knowledge on this basic and core modules, TM is a very good option. You can learn SAP TM. If you are a complete fresher, you have a college graduate, you don't have any operational experience, you don't have any basic module experience, and you want to put your hand on TM, if you will come to me, we will train you. Okay, that's our profession. We give the trainings, but I don't recommend. I would recommend you that first learn the core module. If you are very much interested in the TM and you don't have any experience in SAP, first learn SAP SD and then learn SAP TM, because SAP TM is 3 times complexer than SAP SD, right? So if you are straight away putting hand on TM, sometimes the people find it's too complex. Okay, it's too difficult. So that's why first have a core, build your core, and then learn from there. Okay. So if you're already into the SAP, doing a consulting, you can straight away jump into TM for the cross-functional training and for the better opportunities. If you are a complete fresher, my suggestion would be, if you are interested in TM, first do SD and then jump into TM. If you are completely new to SAP, but you have a very strong experience, operations experience into the transportation, not SAP, maybe some another transportation tool you are handles, and from last few years, you are working onto the transportations only. So from the business perspective, you have a very good and sound knowledge on the transportation, but not on SAP. Then you can also try to directly jump into SAP because of your operational experience onto the TM will make it easy for you to learn and adopt to SAP TM module. Okay. SAP experts, if you're already consulting any module and if you want to jump to TM, I don't have a problem. You will be able to grasp it. I have only restriction, and I just want that people who don't have any SAP experience and they want to directly do the module TM and EWM, you can find it little difficulty. Our suggestion would be first go for core modules and then jump to the TM modules. That covers who can learn SAP TM. And then what would be the vehicle to success? How you would be riding a vehicle given to you by which you would be able to learn it. And you will also be able to convert your knowledge into the jobs, right? That is a vehicle to success. A lot of people are asking questions and all the questions will be answered now from here in this part, vehicle to success. So we have a dynamic content. We have, as soon as you enroll with the bundle course, you have given all the access. Within that access, dynamic content would be there. That dynamic content is all the recorded session videos from the day one you have it. Dynamic content recorded sessions and the previous recorded session also you would be getting it, right? So that is the first thing. Support team, can you give me the link to our SAP TM so that I can showcase to the people? Try to put it. Support team, can you give a link to the SAP TM bundle? I think I got it. So this is the bundle content which we recommend you to take it, which would be including so many things into it. So this one you can see SAP S/4HANA TM. This is our dynamic content. As soon as you enroll, from the first day itself, you have access to the full course, means full video access you would be having it. So we keep on updating this, our dynamic content, the new topics which we cover it during our live session, they all goes into this TM. So this would be having all of the course curriculum if you want to check it. And what are the things we have given with the assignments, you would be able to have it end to end. Okay. So this you would be having from the day one itself, all the sessions with you. Then this is a dynamic content you would be having so that you are into something into SAP TM or you are giving an interview. And I am saying that after 15 days, I will be covering the charge calculation. You said, Bhaiya, I need to give interview. I need to know charge calculation now. Or I am working in a project. I want to know the charge calculation now, right? This you can learn from this product. All the videos are already available. Then the second thing we have is a gamifier. With the gamifier, you would be knowing that the live session would be happening through the gamifier. So the live sessions and the recorded of the live sessions would be there into the gamifier. We are telling that we would be having in the gamifier session somewhere 40 hours of training, which we are committing, but the course is little big. So the few sessions we'll be giving it to you from the recorded sessions also, which you need to go through it. Okay, but 40 hours of instructor-led live sessions would be given. This is the June 2023 batch. Why it is? Why this is coming to me? Okay. So this is June 23 batch. And you can see that we have done almost in June batch, we have done 24 sessions, which is almost 48, and many sessions are more than 2 hours. So almost 50 plus hour of live sessions we have done in the last batch. You can see it. Out of this, what I have covered till session number 8. So the first 8 session has been covered by me. And then we have, when it comes to FUBR and FU type, the configuration, are these expert he covers. And when it goes to the freight calculation management, then it goes to the Sandeep, he is the expert. So in all of the modules, we are changing the structure and we are bringing within the module also, there are so many things. And as a consultant, you are expert in a particular area. So we are trying to bring a specific expert who have expertise in the particular area, and they would be delivering that particular topics. That's what we want to do it. That's why the multiple trainers would be coming into the training to do the live sessions. We would be giving assignments and we will also be giving the server access. So here, the live access is there, the recording to the live sessions, and the dynamic content is also available. If you want to start, yeah, 4 December we are starting. I want to learn from today. Start from here, right? Server access would be given. This product is not only the server access, but it also how you can set up your sandbox system. So it also has a video. So you can set up your MM and SD scenario, starting from your company code creation and the general errors, the finance related errors, which you get it, or the TM related general errors, you get it. We have put it a small videos here so that you would be able to correct your finance related problems or generic problems, which you get it. When you do your scenarios, you would be able to watch videos from here and you would be able to get your things resolved. Okay. Okay, let me jump back. Now, this would be answering a lot of questions which people are already asking it, right? Server access is given. 3 months of server access would be there. That's a complimentary server access. I am again repeating. With the bundle, you get a 3 months of complimentary server access. We generally start the server access when we start giving some assignments in the system. If you want to server access from day one, we can give it from day one, but it will finish in 3 months of time, right? After 3 months, 90% of our students, they keep on taking the server access. They keep on subscribing the server access again. It costs somewhere around 8,000 rupees for 3 months to subscribe the server again. Again, I'm repeating, 3 months of complimentary server access would be given to you with this. And after 3 months, if you want more server access, you need to resubscribe it. Offline support we are giving from the Telegram group. We have a very enriched Telegram community. So you will be getting a link to the Telegram community. And when you are practicing, if you have some question, you can post into the Telegram group. We have an instructor, myself, and other older students also there, very enthusiastic, which will be helping you to the new students who are learning. We understand you need to do the cross-module training. So we cover a lot of stuff from the step-up circles, and we give also the full around 150 hours of step-up circle session, which we have covered already or which we are covering in future. That access also we have given to you. So let's say in this one, if I jump here, there's a lot of complimentary things you get it with this bundle access. It's totally 9 products you are getting it. So this is the step-up circle videos. All the videos, if you want to learn the different topics, if you want to learn what is Rise with SAP. Okay, let me check if I have Rise video. Rise with SAP video is there. If I want to check the AI, artificial intelligence, this is a video of AI. What is the impact of AI into the SAP job market? Okay, if you want to know the APIs. Okay, this is the BAPI. If you want to know the videos on BAPIs and bodies is there. API, if you want to know a video on API is there. That is the additional 200 hours of trainings are available, videos are available, which is given to you free with this, which you can go through based on your requirement. अभी मेरे को बापी के बारे में जानना है. I need to do more about bodies. I want to know about AIs, Rise with SAP. I want to take an overview of MM module. Okay, that I want to know about Ariba, what is Ariba and what Ariba does, right? That kind of videos also you would be able to find from here. So this is Ariba in nutshell, which you will get a video from here. So the next videos which we are covering into the step-up circles, That also you will get it from here. What are the changes in 2021? Let me check if it is there. Sales highlights 2021. What are the changes in 2021? That video is there. QM overview video is there. So many things we have introduced here, which is to make sure that you utilize this community to expand yourself beyond the TM also. Then we have some standard ones. If you want to go for certification questions helps is available from here. We have a TM interview questions available from here. Okay. And 2 more trainings. If you want to do the data migrations in S4HANA, data migration and HANA migration cockpit, a separate training has been given here. You need to use Fiori a lot in the TM. Fiori is a separate chapter. I have a separate training, A to Z of Fiori for functional consultant. Very important and very beautiful training. Anyone who has taken that training, they all written me back that this is one of the best training we have done. Okay. Small, complex, 10 to 12 hours of training here, 10 to 12 hours of training here. These both also we are giving complimentary. These are the self-paced training, which you can do in parallel. Small 10, 15 minutes videos would be there, which you can watch one video on daily basis and you can learn. Okay, altogether, if you will calculate, it will go beyond 400 plus hours of content, which we are giving. But the live instructor-led training, we are committing for 40 hours. Okay, 40 hours of live instructor-led training would be there on SAP TM. Out of it, almost 16 to 17 or 16 to 18 hours, I would be covering it. Rest would be covered by the another experts. So this is our vehicle to success, which has helped many to get success in the TM. If you want to see that how the people are able to start their career and got the TM jobs, we have a game of high flyers. The people who agreed to come for interviews, they have done the interview with us. That also you will be able to check from here. The people who got succeed into the TM jobs. And so many people after doing this training were able to get the TM projects also. We would be starting it from 4th of November, right? The timing details Aman will give. It would be Saturday, Sunday sessions. Times are fixed. We cannot change the timings because it's totally depends on the trainer's availability. Based on the trainer's availability, the times are fixed. If you join the live session, very good. If you miss any live session, the recording would be available from here. And the full recording is available for the TM under here. All these things, you can subscribe it today. The link would be given. We don't have any kind of discounts. All of these things are giving complimentary. It hardly covers our cost. So please don't come to me or my team with the discounts we don't have. Whatever the best we can give it to the community, whatever the things I can include it, I'm including it. And we are also improving this stuff with the AI. You will be getting the session summaries in future. We have also started with some of the modules that after the session, a session summary also given to you. That kind of advancement which we are doing it to make the experience better. So demand from us to make the experience even better. Don't demand from the discounts. Already its cost is already very minimum. It hardly cover our cost for the training. 20% straight away, 18% straight away goes to the GST, and around between 2 to 4% straight away goes to the transaction charges, right? So please don't come and ask for discounts. We don't have any. Okay, now I am jumping with the question and answers. Before I jump into the question and answer, please raise your hand if you want to speak and ask your question. I would be first going to the Q&A. People who have put the question and answer into the Q&A. In between, I will giving you one by one chance to ask your question. And then I would be, once this hand raise and Q&A is finished, I would be jumping into the chat to check if anything is missing, explaining on the chat, right? So make sure that if your question is not answered from the chat, try to put it into the Q&A so that it comes first, right? So let me first answer 2 Q&A questions and then we'll be proceeding ahead. Priyanka Sharma is asking, I'm looking for ABAP, SAP ABAP support team. Can you please type and give the answer live to Priyanka? Mohan Dadi is asking for SAP EWM support team. Can you please answer them, type them and answer? Give them the link for ABAP and EWM. Raju is asking, is TM is SAP tool? This question I have already answered. Raju is asking, sir, what about the opportunities of non-background people? If you are non-background, you don't have any consulting experience, you want to do TM, my personal suggestion would be first SD, then TM. Go step by step. Now I will give chance to someone who has raised the hand. So Sugnekar, please go ahead. Sorry if I pronunciate your name incorrectly. So sorry for that. Please go ahead. Sugnekar. If you are speaking, I'm not able to hear you. Let me check my audio connection also. Sugnekar, can you try to speak? Sugnekar is not try to speak. I will lower the hand. Let me go to another question. Opportunities I have answered. Max has a question. Is SAP TM integrated with the planning areas modules like MRP, ATP, IBP, etc.? So SAP TM, what linkage I have shown to you, it linked with the delivery, right? It can also directly link with the sales order. It can link with the purchase order. It can link with the STOs, right? That is the linkage. To create sales order, to create purchase order, to create delivery, whatever the modules or functionalities are required, that is to create those documents. And from there, it would be linked ahead, right? So to answer your question, MRP. MRP is used for what? MRP is used to create your purchase acquisitions, to create your planned orders, right? Purchase acquisition and planned orders are not required. It does not give a transport requirement. Purchase order can give it, okay? So after MRP, you need to create purchase order. That would be linking, not directly the MRP. ATP can have some linkage because if you are linking your sales order directly, we need to make sure that the only confirmed quantity goes for the shipment calculations. ATP would be having a linkage. IBP, again, the same way I have explained. IBP is used to do your demand planning. With the demand planning, you make sure your purchase acquisitions or planned orders get created, right? So any modules which will be hitting your sales orders, purchase orders, deliveries, that would be having integration with the TM. Or at the last end, when I have shown in my example, at the last end I have shown that it is integrated with the service PO, service entry sheet. So that part it would be integrating. FI for sure. That was Mac's question. Now I am giving a chance to Anil. Anil, do you have any question you want to speak?
Actually, my question is that is this course other than server remaining bundle is one year access? At the same time, is this course is going to be done on S4 as well as standard on both the systems? Are you going to cover?
No, this course would be done on S4 HANA. We cover the standalone part, at how the things would be happening into the standalone, what process would be there in standalone, but this complete course would be there on S4 HANA, system access S4 HANA, all the exercise given on the S4 HANA. In future, the standalone system which would be used in future would also be S4 HANA standalone system. So the processes will become same with some additional documents going to the S4 HANA. So that architecture we would be explaining it, but we don't use a standalone system integrated with ECC to explain you the TM. So theory would be explaining you, but we don't use a standalone system to give you access to you.
And at the same time, the course other than server remaining bundles are for 1 year?
Sorry, my little one came up for some question. Yes, the full bundle access for 30 minutes. I missed that question. Thank you, Anil, for asking it. We are the only institute who are providing that much of content, and to provide more benefits to the community, because I understand the TM can be complex. You are a working consultant. You missed something, you left in between, and you are not able to do. So what I am giving you the 1 year access to the community, where basically we keep on doing this iteration, you will see that maybe 6, 7 or 10 people enroll, but the batch would be 20, 25 people. Because people who have enrolled earlier, we give them the chance to attend the session again and again. In 1 year, whatever the repetitions will be doing it for the batch, we give you access to join all of the batches for TM. We don't restrict it. And we are the one and only institutes who does that. Other institute, I was taking a training of, I keep on upgrading myself. So recently I was taking some advanced training on Fury. And when I took the training, I want this one. And when I was doing, I thought that new batch is coming up on the new version. I asked them, they said, yes, you can take it by paying again full amount. I paid again full amount. I paid 2 times. But we provide repeated sessions around the year for you. Anil, any other question?
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's 1 year access other than server. Thank you for answering. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Anil. I will answer a couple of questions from the question and answer window. Can you use shipment after TM implementation? Generally, no. Generally, for the same company code, for the same plant, when we implemented TM, we don't use shipment. Shipment module is anyhow is going to be obsolete. Shipment module is just getting to replace with your SAP TM. So generally, no. Vinod is having a question. Parminder, I would like to have one-to-one session with you. Team, can you give a link to Vinod for the one-to-one session? I'm leaving this question into the question and answer. Please give link to him. Raju is having a question. I am from SAP BW, SSC background. Can I learn TM? So Raju, if you are available, can you raise your hand? I will give you unmute access. I would like to know that what is your functional background? Do you understand the SD processes or MM processes? Do you understand? If you understand, you would be able to pick it up. If you don't understand, then you need to, yeah, Raju has raised the hand. Then you need to go through the SD module first before going to TM. Yeah, Raju.
Yeah, hello, sir. Thank you for giving access to talk to you. Sir, I know little bit process of MMSD FICO also. As part of the BW implementation, I just got researched some of the functional flows and got some knowledge, but not that much. I can say I'm a beginner in that functional knowledge.
You have you done any transaction? Have you run any SD or MM transaction in the system? Maybe end-to-end cycles?
Not much, sir. Not much.
Not much.
Only a few
So
transactions.
you don't have, so basically you want to jump as a functional consultant, what I understand, right?
Yes.
So if I would be giving a path to you, the true path would be, Raju, that first make sure you have a strong core. So learning SAP SD will give you a strong core. Maybe you don't learn full, but try to learn 50 to 60% of SAP SD from our SD mastery course and then jump into TM. That would be a right path. It will take a little longer, but I think that is the right path, which would be more relevant for you. Okay. I'm not here to sell my courses, right? I am here to make sure that each individual, whether he take courses from me or he doesn't take courses from me, he goes into the right direction, put effort into the right direction so that long-term success can come, right? So that's what I would suggest to you, first SD.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
And what about opportunities, sir, after learning the course?
Opportunities. So we have, we would be asking you to update your CV and give the CVs to us. And we'll also ask you to update your CV into the job markets. A lot of people generally, when we build the batch, 70% of the people are there who have knowledge, who are working as SD, MM. And then when they update their profile with all the TM knowledge, generally we need not to support them for any of the opportunities. Opportunities come in flood, right? So that is not a problem. So our basic, generally we provide the job assistance, but our focus of the job assistance is more there for the freshers, because 80% of the people would be having a flood of the requirements when you'll update your Naukri profile. with your basic experience and adding with the TM experience and the TM knowledge when you'll update it, a flood of requirement will come. We are associated with two of the companies who are basically take only SD and EWM projects. We forward your CVs to them. That two companies we are associated with it. But rest of the places, mostly TM, EWM, we need not to put much of the effort for the consulting them for the jobs. They get automatically from the open market.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Sure. In between, Apurva Dhawan has a question. Are we going to learn the latest version of SAP TM? In this month, SAP has launched 2023. Our lab system is on 2022. So you would be learning SAP S4HANA 2022 and the TM which is on that, right? The SAP S4HANA current version, which is launched this month, is 2023. Our server, our labs will get updated with the 2023 in the next month, March. But the difference in the TM you will see is less than 0.5%, okay, between the two versions. So your training would be happening on SAP S4HANA 2022 version. Naveen is having a question. I have 8 years of experience in order management as SAP end user. Order management, can I join TM? Naveen, if you are available, can you raise your hand? I will ask you to unmute. I need to understand in order management, do you have exposure to the transportation or only to the SD side? SAP SD end user, you have already written. SAP SD end user, you have written. If you have a very good exposure to SAP SD end user, I would say that you can go ahead with SAP TM, but I would also suggest you take the SAP SD as a self-paced and try to in parallel also make sure that the SD becomes stronger for you. So what happens, why I asked for the two modules, because if 100 companies has been implemented SAP, you will find 80 to 85 companies have SD. Okay, 10 to or 100 companies who have implemented SD, 80 to 85 would not be having TM. 15 to 20 companies will be having TM. But that 15 to 20 company requirement is also very good requirement and they would be paying very high, right? But if you have SD and TM both in your bucket, SD will give you the wider range to apply for the jobs and TM will give you the quality job with the more monetary benefits. So learn TM, but in parallel, make sure that you're also making your SD knowledge to the consultant level. That would be benefit for the longer term. Now I'm jumping it to Shankar Shiva. Shankar Shiva, you have any question?
Hey, hi, Bharan. So I'm looking for excellence EWM as well, along with TM.
You are looking for?
Excellence EWM is there, right?
EWM.
Both, yeah, both I need. TM and
EWM also we are doing the session. There would be one step-up circle on the EWM, which would be on 3rd November. So you can drop an email to support team. They would be giving you a combined package of EWM bundle and TM bundle.
So both will not be in the same time, right?
No, both is not there in the same package. EWM is EWM training is even that vast that it is 120 plus hours of training. And I asked my trainer Naidu to have a 40 hours of instructor-led session. Every batch is crossing 60, 70 hours. So what you are asking is around 200 hours of content, pure content on EWM plus TM, right? It's a complete separate training. And with the EWM, we have a two module. We have EWM Mastery, EWM Excellence. I think the both together goes 130 hours of EWM training.
Right.
Only EWM, right? EWM is also very complex. So separate bundles are there. EWM also we have a bundle.
To whom I need to drop a mail for this?
You can just drop an email to support@sastrageek.com and then they will guide you.
Thank you. Thanks, Bharan.
Sure. Prashant is asking what is the course fee? The link has been given. Prashant, just click on the link and the course fee would be displayed. The country you are in, based on the taxes applied on that country, the prices can be a little different. So click on the link given. You will see the price there to enroll. Naveen Kumar said that EWM TM integration covers in the training. EWM TM integration I can give you, but a recorded video would be given to you. If possible, we will do the live session also, but we don't commit. EWM TM integration we are trying to cover in our EWM training. Okay, we are getting a lot of difficulties. We are working almost for 1.5 months to make sure all the integrations are in place. And we need to implement so many SAP nodes connecting to the SAP. So we are working on it. I can commit you that we'll be giving you recorded videos. I will try my best that if a live session can be arranged, but the chances are 5%. But yes, I would be able to give you a recorded session because we are working on it. But the live session is just 5% chances I would be able to give you for EWM TM integration. That also would be giving it now. We are also planning a TM 2.0 course where the more advanced topics would be pushing it to TM excellence training. But as of now, we have single course. So if you enroll it now, within the TM mastery course, you will get it.
One thing, sir, anybody joined job, they may face some issues in real time. Are they connecting with you or team for any kind of such cases?
No, we have a separate service which we provide for on-job support. You need to understand that the trainers or the consultant we bring, they charge a lot. Many of them are doing a consulting, they are charging $70 to $100 per hour. So if they need to work for you on your job requirement, if somebody need to work for 2 or 3 hours for you, it means $200 to $300 of the consulting charges, right? So we have a TM community which is available on the Telegram, on which you can put your questions and other people with their experience can try to answer it. But we also have a service available where basically we will be providing an on-job support, but that is a paid service as of now. Okay, that's a paid service as of now. We are starting one new service where basically we will be providing you 1 month on-job support. Okay, once you are taken the training, okay, and after the training, you got the job and you also come into the game of high flyers. If you come, then we'll give you the 1 month of free on-job support. Okay, with the limited session. It's not like 1 month ki sir aap to 1 mahina do pura, main to 10 lakh charge karta hu for my 1 month services, right? So I would not be giving one full month to you. With the, I think it would be 1 hour per week, around 4 hours of on-job support we'll be giving free for 1 month. Okay, that's what we will be providing it if you appear into the game of high flyers. Otherwise, you can also take the service from us. We would be assigning a consultant to you who would be working with you, and based on the hourly basis, he would be charging it. Or you can get the free support from the Telegram group. Our motive is not to put that service, and we don't encourage it to take the on-job support, right? But sometime it is required. You have, based on your capability, you got the little bigger project, which you need some moral support to share. Yeah, you can do it, go into this direction, you can do it. For that, we have put it. But I don't expect somebody taking more than 2-3 months of the on-job support, because we want you to work in your field as an independent consultants, right? So if you are not able to do it, it means either the training has not been done properly or you have not covered the full training, right? So that is what you need to work on. But we have that service, 1 month free for 4 hours if you appear into the game of high flyers. Game of high flyers, you come for an interview with me and you share your success journey and how you got the job. Okay. Anil question, I have already answered it. Website and recording access for 3 months or 6 months. Okay, that is answered. Please change, Dheeraj is asking, please change batch timing to 9 a.m. Sorry, Dheeraj, not possible. I told the batch timings are fixed. Make sure you wake up early. If you want to build some careers, sacrifice some things. If you are still not able to join it, try to join it, try to go through the recorded sessions. Please provide the link for the training cost and schedule details. Link has been provided repeatedly. Please support team. We know, give the links again. Okay. I'm jumping it to Dheeraj DD. Dheeraj DD, you have now access to talk.
Yeah, hi Parminder.
Yep.
So I think you have already answered my question because I'm working in the US shift, so I was looking to have the session little bit in the morning if you can start, but you said it's not possible, correct?
Sorry, not possible. Yeah. Because of the time
Okay.
constraint from all of the people who they are working, and then what happened with all the trainers who would be covering it. If 9 a.m. is the time for them, then their weekend is killed. So everybody, they said that, okay, if morning 2 hours will be doing it, then we have a full weekend hours to spend with the family. And if they want to take out to the family, they can do it. That's why we put it 6:30. Generally, India people can wake up early, and the day is ending for the US people, so they are able to join. So that is kind of optimized time for everyone. So changing that time is very, very difficult. We are so sorry for that.
Mhm. No, that's okay. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Sure, Dheeraj. I'm having a question from Hema. I am the end user of SAP S/4HANA as planning analyst. Do you think it will be helpful to learn TM? I do have a basic knowledge of transport management and operations. If you have a basic knowledge on transport management and operations, and if you want to build your career on TM HEMA, yes, it would help you out. Apurva Dhawan is asking, are we gonna learn the latest? Okay, that I have already answered it. Course duration, 40 hours of instructor-led training, which it requires us around 2.5 to 3 months to complete the course when we start it. Giving chance to Nageshwar Kondapi. Nageshwar, you can unmute yourself if you have any question.
Yeah. Hi, Parminder. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Please go ahead. I can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm from background of MMWM expertise level, and I have little exposure to EWM. Looking out some opportunities in the market to get into EWM and TM world. So the thing now I'm getting a small doubt on TM in the job market opportunities wise. So see, if I'm a Ford company, right? I know I can understand. I have to plan the trucks while receiving and shipping. I have to associate these trucks to the staging areas. Up to that part, I have it's my area. But transportation, complete transportation, planning of legs and routes, I will give it to FedEx, right? So FedEx will take care of it. So why should I go for TM in this case for the manufacturing companies? And also one more thing, is FedEx is into picture? Can I get a job into FedEx kind of freight forwarding companies? Are they using SAP TM?
Okay, very good question. कि भैया जब मेरे को FedEx को ही देना है, so what I would be doing as a TM, right? But the thing is that you don't have only the FedEx. You have a multiple logistics provider. And when you want to give to the multiple logistics provider, you want to give them the precise information that what do you require it. Your delivery does not have that much of information. If you go one step ahead, prepare your freight units and have your freight order in which you decide ki bhaiya, for which route I want to do it, and under that route, what kind of truck I want it. That information, so if I go and I have a parcel with me, right? And I go to any company and I say that, okay, I want to deliver the parcel. They would be checking what is the weight of it, what is the volume of it, from where you want to transport it, till what point you want to transfer it. And based on that, they would charge from you, right? What I want to do it, I want to collect my parcels and I want to make sure that, okay, after collecting my parcel, I know that I don't have a single parcel. I have a bunch of parcels which can fit a 25 feet truck. Now I have a requirement of 25 feet truck. In 25 feet truck, I have a refrigerated products. So a compartment should be there for refrigerated products. And then a compartment should be there for the normal products. And I want to make a delivery to this 3 customers. So this would be a route for me. For that, you tell me who can provide me on this route trucks and the freight provider services. That is the purpose of introducing a TM, the first part. Second part, you need to also pay to the FedEx, right? How you would be paying to the FedEx? FedEx is charging you something based on the kilometers or based on the different charges would be there, right? That charge calculation is sitting where? If you don't have TM, it does not sit anywhere. So you have your transportation execution by FedEx, charge calculation. You know that what actual execution happens by the FedEx. Based on that, you can you can calculate the charges and you can pay to the FedEx. So the cycle can be closed with the FedEx, right?
Okay.
So that is the
got
purpose of using a transport management. But very good question.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is that fee included GST or excluding GST?
Totally depend on your country.
India, additional will be there. Correct me.
No, you just need to go to the link, click on pay and do the payment, right? If in your country, if the taxes are applied, it will add the taxes when you're doing the payment. If in your country the taxes has not been applied, then it will get inclusive into the taxation. So that is a teachable we are using it, and the calculation is based on that.
For India, how you think is?
You just click on the link and go to the payment page. You will find what payment you are doing. If the final payment which you are doing is always inclusive of GST. Okay, I'm going to the next question, which is from Rajeshwar. Is TM an integrated component of S4HANA, or we need to install some add-on purchase on additional license? S4HANA embedded TM is already integrated function of S4HANA. No need to install anything, but you need to pay extra license cost if we are using professional shipment services. That is answer Rajeshwar. Pankaj Kumar is asking any benefit for old students? Yes, there are the benefit for old students, Pankaj. If you have already enrolled for one bundle and if you are enrolling for another bundle, you become eligible for our internship program. Okay, you get the free internship program, which you can claim it from the support team. That is the additional benefit for the old. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Gladar is asking, are people able to survive with the basic training TM? Will you support on-job questions? Gladar, I have already answered that question in detail. I hope you would be clear with that. Our training will include the both of the parts, the classic TM and the professional TM. Let me see who has hand raised. Vinod, please go ahead.
Hey, hi, Parminder, can you hear me? Hello?
Just give me 1 minute. Huh?
Sure.
Yeah, please go ahead, Vinod.
Yeah, so Parminder, is the LBN integration also included in the training?
LBN integration is included into the training from the theoretical perspective. Our servers, which we have, technically cannot be integrated with the LBN. Okay, so LBN is just, you will be getting one session, and that is also, I have a recorded session which will ask you to go through it. We want to explore ourselves more into the LBN, which because we don't have access, our system cannot technically integrate with the LBN. Even the trainings which SAP provides, is also they don't have that functionality. Until you're taking specific LBN training.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vinod. Mukesh is having a question. There is some background noise. Dheeraj and Nageshwar, can you be on mute, please? Let me mute everyone. I have a ABAP experience in TM, EWM, SD, CRM in S4, but would like to become a techno-function consultant in TM and EWM. Is SD function knowledge is mandatory? I knew the process cycle of SD, but not like a functional person. Mukesh, if you have a ABAP experience in TM in the previous batches, we have multiple students who are having an exposure to the ABAP side. And based on the ABAP side, they know the good TM knowledge also. what kind of transaction functions, some basic knowledge of TM, they also got it. With that, they were able to upskill themselves as a TM functional level knowledge. So if they are able to do it, you would also be able to do it. Okay, so you can do the TM. It's not that much required to go for SD for you now, because as a BAP side, you have a decent working on TM to know the basic TM functions, right? So you can go directly with TM. Slowly after the TM, when you are jumping into the functional side of it, techno-functional side of it, second target, you can put it to do SD. Max is having a question. Is there an intro session like planned for SAP PP? Asking for a colleague of mine. Intro session for PP. Just drop an email to support team, Max, and they would be able to give link of the recorded session. I would like to do it maybe, but it will take around a month's time. We have already Ariba session. We have already Ariba session is there. Then we have an EWM session coming it up. Okay, then I'm planning a RAR session. So PP might take to do a session again on PP. Open session will take some time, but you can drop a note to support team and they would be able to give an intro video, which he can go through it and understand it. Support team, can you help Shiva? He's not able to access the link. Okay, all the hands has also been answered, and Shiva, support team will also send you the link over the email also. Okay, you will get the link over the email by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and then you can enroll it, and you will also get the recording of this video. Rahul, please go ahead.
Hi, Parminder. Hello.
Yeah, Rahul.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes. So actually, I am working on a standalone system, ECCTM. So in the S4 HANA, we will learn deep in the for optimizer also, like
Yes.
parameter and all.
Yes, optimizer is
incremental planning also.
Sorry, what?
Incremental planning.
Optimizer is included. Incremental planning, you just drop a note to the support team so that they can check whether the increment planning under the optimizer has been covered or not. But we have an optimizer which is covered. Just drop a note to the support team and they will let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Sanjay, last question of the day.
Yeah, hi, Parminder. This is Sanjay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I have one question because I live in US, but I have to make payment in INR. So, and can I do bank-to-bank transfer from India?
If you are in US, living in US, we prefer that you go to the link and pay in USD.
No, actually, I want to pay in INR because I have my bank in in India, and I can pay in Indian rupees.
Then you just drop an email to support team and they would be reaching back to you and helping you.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, with that, I have answered all of the question. Apurva has a question. I'm sorry, I might have missed, but what's the duration of the course? Apurva, duration of the course is 40 hours of instructor-led training, which generally taking experience from the last batches. It goes beyond 40 hours also. The last we have covered in the 50 hours. So it takes 2.5 to 3 months. So if you're starting in the month of December, January, and by mid-February or by end of February, your course will finish.
It's November, right? You in the November 4th.
Sorry, November we are starting. November, December, end of January. Sorry, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, so with that, we are done for the today's session. Thank you for joining. I really enjoyed this session. Thank you for providing your weekend time to us. And thank you for asking so many interactive questions. I really loved this session. Look forward on the 4th of November to have a live session, the session number 1, where we'll start with the transportation terminology and taking it ahead to the further learnings. Thank you everyone for joining today, and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.